And because we're recording this, feel free and ask as many questions as you can, because that will be good for everybody that watches later.
I'm in a meeting.
All right, I respect everybody's time. Let's go ahead and get started. Then we'll kind of see how it goes. There are just a few of us here, so maybe we'll get to know each other just a little bit. I want to go ahead and introduce myself first, if that's okay. My name is Todd Oberndorfer, and I am the Visual Arts Program Coordinator and the Director of Finch Lane Gallery. That's me, and that's how you spell my name right there. I'd love to chat with you just a little bit about the Salt Lake City Arts Council, which we are part of. To kind of give you a sense, the mission is to promote, present, and support artists, arts organizations, and arts activities in order to further the development of the arts community and to benefit the public by expanding awareness, access, and participation. The Salt Lake City Council, which is a foundation, is a nonprofit organization that was established in 1979 with objectives to promote and support artistic programs, to determine community cultural needs, to facilitate community efforts in developing cultural and artistic programs, to reach the public in new ways in Salt Lake City, to act as the advisory body to the city in relationship to the arts, and to bridge communication between the cultural community and the city government. The Salt Lake City Council programs connect artists and the public by producing a number of programs in the performing, visual, literary, and folk arts. I'm going to chat about those just for a second, and then we'll jump into Finch Lane Gallery. The City Arts Grants Program is designed to provide financial support for artists, arts organizations, nonprofits, and elementary schools conducting arts programming in Salt Lake City. The City Arts Grant Program allows the Arts Council to reach more geographically diverse areas and fill gaps that may exist in education and programming for residents. Recognizing the social and economic benefits realized through an aesthetic experience in public spaces, the public art program's purpose is to add high-quality, site-specific artist work to the natural and built environments. Our next big program is Living Traditions Festival. This is a 3-day folklife festival that supports the diverse artistic traditions and perspectives through the presentation of both historic and contemporary customs, facilitated through thoughtful conversation about the unique qualities of various cultures and the similarities of the human experience, while creating bonds among community members. This year's festival is actually just around the corner. It's May 17th through the 19th, 2024. One other thing, now in its 37th year is the Twilight Concert Series, which has presented a wide range of nationally recognized and upcoming recording artists paired with local musicians and performers. A highly anticipated summer series continues to be dedicated to connecting audiences through live music by presenting musically diverse artists that represent strong artistic values and diverse social principles. And of course, my favorite right here is Finch Lane Gallery. Our exhibition program is designed to give local artists, such as yourselves, an opportunity to show their current body of work. On average, the Art Council's programs reach approximately 100,000 individual audience members and over 1,000 artists per year. These programs are intended to serve residents along the Wasatch Front with a focus on the Salt Lake County area. However, events such as the Living Traditions Festival and even the Finch Lane Gallery attracts attendees from across Utah and throughout the region. Programs are thoughtfully curated each year with the intention of supporting artists and arts organizations and making Salt Lake City a more vibrant, equitable, and engaging place to live. All right, I know what you're here for, and that is Finch Lane Gallery. Salt Lake City Council's Finch Lane Gallery is a contemporary art gallery which offers visual arts exhibits and interdisciplinary short-term flash projects year-round. Both established and emerging Utah-based artists are invited to apply for a Finch Lane Gallery exhibition. The exhibition program is designed to give Utah-based artists and curators an opportunity to exhibit a current body of work, explore exhibition themes or media relevant to the community and field of arts at large, and foster the development of curatorial skills through exhibition production and collaboration. The application process includes a thorough and competitive review by the Visual Arts Committee of the Salt Lake City Arts Council. You will see that we have two gallery spaces, the West Gallery and the East Gallery, if you've been in before. We squeeze in 7 art exhibitions, and we'll talk about that here. Exhibitions are scheduled for 6 weeks in duration in 2 exhibition spaces, the West Gallery and the East Gallery. Artists accepted for exhibition of new work should be aware that their show may be scheduled to open as early as January 2025 or as late as November 2025. We will be programming 7 sessions of art exhibitions in the 2 galleries, each lasting 6 weeks with artist receptions. We will also be programming 2 sessions of flash projects, which are short-term, interdisciplinary, community-oriented, and/or experimental projects that are meant to reimagine the use of Finch Lane Gallery. Flash projects are separate to art exhibitions, and the application process is different. This takes place in the fall as opposed to our own. That's our space. I don't see any faces for hands up, but I'm hoping everybody's been in Finch Lane Gallery. Has everybody been in the gallery before?
Have not.
Welcome, Jeremy. Is this Jeremy chatting?
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, come check us out sometime. We are at 54 Finch Lane, but this kind of gives you a sense of the photo right there.
Is there parking?
Yes, sir. We probably have about 8 dedicated spots, and then we are in Reservoir Park, and so we have parking all around the park as well.
And also, does it require an appointment to visit, or is it walk-in?
Jeremy, good questions. So we are open 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, and Tuesday night we're open till 8:30 p.m. We are also part of the Salt Lake City Gallery Stroll, which is every 3rd Friday. You will always find us open from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock p.m. And then in addition to that, I try to schedule most openings for the gallery openings, the opening receptions on those gallery stroll nights. But if it doesn't fall on those nights, we'll be open on those evenings as well.
Excellent.
Good question. Thank you very much. The Salt Lake City Arts Council and Finch Lane Gallery is located in the historic Art Barn. That is the full building in Reservoir Park near the University of Utah campus. Our facility has served as a community art center since its doors opened in 1931, and we are still a community art space. Which leads us back to our current Finch Lane opportunity. The 2025 exhibitions call for entries. At this point, we're looking for artists for our 2025 exhibition schedule, which will run through December 27th, 2025. I think our first exhibit starts on January 13th of 2025. All proposals, and we'll talk about that here in just a second, must be submitted through our online site. We use a platform called Submittable, and I will show you where all of those links are. A good place to start, and we're going to go there together as well, is saltlakearts.org, which is our website. One thing I do want to mention right away is the fact that there is no fee to apply. To be considered for an exhibition, applicants must be residents of Utah. That's one of our biggest and probably about our only sort of reservation there. And submit all the required materials. Emailed, mailed, or hand-delivered materials will not be accepted. Only completed applications online will be considered. The Arts Council will not notify artists regarding disqualifications where guidelines are not followed. Just know I'm here for you. We can chat about plenty of things. I will mention it a few times. Applications are due on Sunday, April 28th, 2024 at 11:59 p.m. So that gets you through a Sunday night. Before we jump into the guidelines, I thought we'd kind of take a look at that together. A couple of do's and don'ts for those of you that have applied. You know these inside and out. It's also a good review for anybody that have not applied. Biggest do that I can offer everyone is to follow directions. This applies to any application on any site that you'll ever sort of apply for. We're going to go through those directions together. I would recommend whittling away at that a little bit at a time. So maybe get started early. Maybe this weekend's a good time to start. And then know that you can reach out to me at any time. Email is the best way to get hold of me, and I'll make sure that you have that. Otherwise, if you're somebody who wants to chat on the phone, we can set up a time. And we can also, if we need to, set up an appointment so you can chat with me one-on-one. Our offices are located in the same art barn that I just showed you a picture of. A couple big don'ts before we get started looking at things. One of the ways to disqualify yourself is to submit a partial application. Don't do that. Do your best to not include extra materials as well. Just stick to what's required of you. And then do not apply too late because I cannot accept anything past that midnight deadline or 11:59. I think I have it at. All right, so let us switch over really quick. Anytime anybody wants to jump in with some questions, that's what I say. This is mostly here for is to answer the questions that you have. You are here, you have all of my attention. So make sure and pop in when you want to. I am going to switch over to our website. You will find us at saltlakearts.org. Our opening site looks like this. I want you to scroll down to our first and latest news. I wanted to put all this information in one central location. This is the 2025 Finch Lane Gallery Exhibition. Call for entries is now open. All the information you need is included here. Everything we just chatted about is included in here. You're going to find questions that have been asked. Go ahead and scroll through that in here. If you want to add some questions to that, reach out to me. I'd be happy to add to that list. A couple things I want to look at today. Maybe it'll spur some questions if you have any. Is to take a peek at the guidelines themselves. I want to point out a couple of things. Have you all looked at anything yet? Or is this earlier than that?
Have not looked yet, but
all right, Jeremy. Go ahead.
Sorry. I guess the question I have is for entries. I have
Yes,
a
sir.
lot of canvases to pick from, but is there a limited number that they would be willing to look at, or?
Yes, sir. And we will talk about that. In fact, let's just jump to it and we'll kind of jump around a little bit if you want to. Once we get down to the application itself, it's going to be very specific with what we ask. The biggest asks are going to be your bio, your proposal. You'll notice that it's limited to the biography that I want to get from you is 50 to 200 words. That's a fair amount, but that's basically what I'm saying is don't go over that 200 words. The proposal itself is going to be 150 to 500 words. I believe there might even be a limit on the submittable site where it only lets you do the 500. I'm also going to be asking for a current resume. I do need that. And then as far as the samples go, to answer your question, Jeremy, I need 5 to 10 images, which means that give me 10 if you got them. If not, 5 will do just fine. So if that answers your question, that's what I want.
As far as a resume, would you like to have just an in general resume or specifically art related?
Art related, I'm more interested in, I'll be honest. I think if you've got both, send me your art one. If you've got the other that includes the art, that's fine too.
If we have more than 10 images, this is Sharon.
Hi, Sharon.
We can, if accepted, have more than 10 in the show.
Yes, ma'am. In fact, this is basically just going to give us a snapshot of what you've done. This is not necessarily work that's going to be in the show itself. I think one of the things to keep in mind when you apply is because we're 6 months to a year and a half out, basically, this is probably going to be new work or almost entirely new work for you. And so it's going to be hard for you to take pictures of work that you're going to do next year. And so give us a sense of the work that you're capable of doing, because this is my snapshot of being able to know what you're capable of. And it also gives me an idea of how it ties into your proposal as well. Good question. All right, so let us jump to the top again real quick. But like I said, feel free and jump in. A couple of things that I want you to know about. Emerging to professional artists, keep that in mind. I love to see young artists that haven't shown, but just know that you're going to be responsible for one of the gallery spaces. I also want to point out to everyone that I love group shows. And so if you are someone who likes to curate group shows, you would essentially, there's going to be a lead that applies, but you're going to include the artists of, a list of all of the artists that will also be in. And there's will anybody be doing a group show, or we are looking at solo shows here?
Solo show here. This is Alan.
Solo.
Hi, Alan. Solo shows in. Let's move forward. All right. So we have a sense right here that these are going to run from January 13th through December 27th, 2025. That means when you do apply, there is going to be a section, and we'll see it here in a few minutes, where you can choose a 6-week block. Keep that in mind. If you need later time, choose a session that's later in the year. Do know that when I am working with my committee, we call it our Finch Lane Gallery Visual Arts Committee, that we will do our best to work within the restraints that you give us. But the more availability you have, the more chances there are, let's just say, when I'm putting, piecing things together. But if you are unavailable, if you're out of the country, if you're out of town, if you need more time, then make sure and choose the block that's going to work for you. And you can visualize that here in a second when we actually go on to it. Eligibility, the call for entries is open to all artists, artist-led teams, and or curators residing in Utah, regardless of race, gender identity, sexual orientation, national origin, age, religion, marital status, political opinion or affiliation, or mental or physical disability. All visual arts media, including new genres, are considered. You also have to be from Utah. Proposals are submitted through, and this is a link here. It's also on the website link that I showed you. We use a platform called Submittable, and so we'll click that here in a second. That'll take us there. Like I said before, no fee to apply, but the only way that you can submit is online. Another quick reminder, these are due Sunday, April 28th, before midnight. I gave you a whole other weekend. Usually I pull like a Monday or something, or a Friday at the end of the week. And so you have through that Sunday night, but just know that you cannot get hold of me on Sunday night if there are issues. And so if that gives you extra incentive to apply early, go for it. I will do my best to notify whether you're in, whether you're not, on the week of June 10th, 2024. So our window is actually pretty short. The exhibition schedule is listed here as well. Like I said, these are our blocks. There is one block you'll know that's missing. That's going to be a separate partnership that's set aside. And so these 6 are the 6 that you choose amongst. If you have been to the gallery, you're familiar with the spaces. If you have not, here's a nice review of the size of the spaces. The East Gallery is a little bit bigger. You will have an opportunity in your application to choose a gallery that might work best for the work that you have. Again, the more flexible you are, let's just say the better. But if your work requires a little bit of extra square footage, then make sure that you look at the difference of 918 square feet to 550 square feet. Understood? All
Yes.
right. Resources that are available to you. For the most part, you are going to be supplying most everything. I do work with an installer, so we will take care of that. The more an artist wants to be involved with the process of installing, that's great. I will work one-on-one with the artist as well, but just know that we do work with an installer. I am able to provide a certain amount of media technology, including a projector. I do have 2 large TV monitors. I have a handful of media players. And then we'll also do our best on our side to market and promote on our platforms, our mailing list. We'll send out a press release, all that goodies. Honorarium. Each artist will receive an honorarium of $250 for the exhibition of their work. In the case of a group show, the honorarium will go to the exhibition curator or organizer. Applicants are responsible for all other associated costs and materials. I would also like to touch on this, where we are a non-commercial space, which means that we will be back year after year. We're not driven by sales. I love to sell all of your work if possible. The Arts Council will manage any sales of the artwork during the exhibition at the Finch Lane Gallery and will retain a 30% commission for any artwork sold. Which means you get 70%. Artwork that is sold may not be removed until the exhibition closes. Work does not have to be for sale. Proceeds from the sales will be reinvested into the visual arts program. Have we spurred any questions yet? This is a pretty straight application process, but I want you to all feel very comfortable with it. When you go back through and read through this, this is essentially the committee that we put together. You are in good hands for the process, where it is a strict process. It is a variety. And so we have everywhere from sort of 5 to 10 special artists that are, arts leaders in the community. It's quite the assortment. And so, do you have something, Jeremy?
Oh, no, sorry.
Okay. Oh, no problem. I just want you to feel comfortable. You will notice again, I remind you that the deadline for submissions is Sunday, April 28th. I am a creature of deadlines myself, but we can't go past that. So do remember the April 28th by 11:59 p.m. We touched on it earlier. A few things that we're going to be looking for is the artist bio, the proposal. The proposal is going to be very close to, if not exactly, what you're going to be installing 6 months to a year from now. And so you have 150 to 500 words and your photos to make that as clear to me and my committee as humanly possible. And so this may include the artist statement, general concepts of the show, techniques, the medium, the scale, the evolution of your work. You're going to want to be as specific as you possibly can. I want to get a really good visual in my head what this is going to look like. I want to get excited. That's basically, I want to be inspired and excited. If you are considering a group show, there's going to be a place for you to list all the artists that you're going to propose with. And like I said before, you're going to include a current resume or CV that is no longer than 2 pages. The work samples, easy to upload. Don't go too crazy on the file size. Do take that into consideration that the maximum total submission size is 800 megabytes. I think that's going to do the trick. Just do be aware of that. Like I said, 5 to 10 images. The more you can see, the better, but you can't go over 10. If more than 2 artists, include 2 to 3 images per artist. These images must be JPEG. Anybody has any questions about the digital aspect of things, make sure that that doesn't keep you from applying. Just reach out to me. Or do a little research online, whatever works for you. Application support. If you do not have access to computers or Wi-Fi to apply, the main library branch of the Salt Lake City Public Library System offers free computers and Wi-Fi access. If you require further assistance, I keep putting my name in here. Make sure that you follow up with it if you need anything. Todd.oberndorfer@slcgov.com. You'll find that everywhere you need it. Again, with my contact information. All right, so I am going to jump on the application itself and let's see what it looks like. If you haven't seen it, then this will be the first time you see it. All right, so this is our landing page. You will see this is a good place to bookmark and to be aware of artist opportunities in the future. Right now, the 2025 Finch Lane Gallery exhibition call for entries is the one that we're interested in. I'm going to click us into that. The guidelines that we just spoke about are listed here. If you need to review anything, they are listed with the application. First thing you're going to see is an area for your address, your contact information, phone number, all the good stuff. I'm going to click us through to the app itself. I'm going to scroll through those guidelines again. And then you are going to see a space for everything we just talked about. This is pretty straightforward application. First name, last name, email, phone number, address, city, state, zip, website if you have it. Here is your section for the artist bio that we talked about. Here's a nice reminder that the limit is 200 words on that. The exhibition proposal, the limit is 500 words on that. The name of the artist could be the same as your solo artist up here, or it could be where that you present your list of artists if you're presenting or proposing a group show.
One
Here
question.
Yeah, go ahead.
As far as artist bio, I've been wanting to create a professional artist bio, but do you have a recommended website that would be best for doing that?
Jeremy, I think I can. Shoot me a reminder question. You have access to my email and all the places. And so remind me and I'll shoot you a link for that. I think I've run across one recently. I just need to sort of double check it, but that's a good question. So remind me, send me an email.
Would also like to have, like, say, for example, a professional artist bio picture, similar to like a photo of an author, artist.
Chosen artists will need to include one. You don't need to in this application. So yes, It is a good idea to have one, but you don't need one for the application itself.
And as far as the images that I attach, I'm just taking the photos from my phone. Would that be acceptable?
You just do the best you can, Jeremy. Do the best you can. I think that the higher quality that you can get, maybe you put your work in front of a nice white background, the better contrast that you can get, whatever represents the piece as well as you possibly can. When the time comes to have any of your work professional, and I'm doing air quotes now, professionally taken, it makes the difference on my side, but I don't want that to limit you by any means. So give it some thought, find some good lighting as you possibly can, because I'll tell you what, sometimes bad photos, I can't, we're not getting the full picture.
Right.
But there is sure a big spectrum between a bad photo and a professional. So another good question. Resume, which we talked about. This is where you submit your artwork samples right here. Again, there are nice reminders on everything listed. Video samples if you're going to do video work, or if it helps in any way with the presentation. I'm not talking you doing a video presentation. I mean of the work itself. You do video work or anything like that. And then you're going to notice. Yeah, go ahead. These are good questions for everybody.
As far as the submissions, would they like to also have, for example, not just the image, but a description and what inspired the work?
When you submit, you're going to notice that you're going to need to include that information. And so you will notice that there's going to be room for the size, the dimensions, the name, these type of things. And so I think that will be a requirement when you do choose to submit each one. meaning it'll
Okay.
ask you for dimensions and things. Yeah, here it is right here. Each file must include artist's name, the title of work, the medium, the date produced, the dimensions, and indicate if the work has been exhibited in other Salt Lake City venues in the past year. And I think that that's one thing that we're going to want to stress again is the fact that this show in 2025 that you are proposing is going to be brand new work, or it's going to be a brand new show. This isn't something that you've shown down the street and then you're going to propose to show with us. And so do keep that in mind. And so I want to be excited. I want to show off your work for the first time. And then there are some follow-up questions down below. You're going to notice that it's going to ask that it says, and I believe this was a question that you had, Sharon. You can click, will the work be, the photos that you've chosen, the work that will be submitted, representative samples, or a combination of both. And so this is where you would click that. And then you could follow up down here and give me a little bit of more information on the artwork samples if you need to. I don't want too much information. I don't want you to spend forever on this application, but I do want you to be thoughtful. And I want you to have a space to write if you need a space to write. And I think we've taken care of that. There's some follow-up questions. Is this the first time you've applied? I'm going to work your way through the rest of those. And then you'll notice at the very bottom, there is a place for you to submit. There's also a place for you to save your draft right here. And so where I mentioned before, it might be a good idea to whittle away at it. This is how you would do that. And so you can start putting in information. You can save a draft. You can go back into it again. I would be careful submitting too late on the Sunday. Like I said, you're not going to be able to call me on Sunday. I'm not saying that was deliberately chosen, but it makes you be a little bit more thoughtful in the submission process. All right, let's go around. Anya, you got any questions for me?
No, not of yet. It's very thorough.
Oh, good. Well, I don't want too much information because I don't want to overload you. But that being said, I do want you to know that you can reach out to me. You can reach out to the Salt Lake City Arts Council. I am excited to see your proposal. Alan, do you have any questions for me?
At this time, I do not. It seems like you've covered most of the details and things,
Excellent.
and a couple other that Jeremy had there.
Yes, thank you, Jeremy. See, that's what I'm saying. Questions are good for everybody. Alan,
Yeah.
Sharon, Anya, Jeremy, anybody who thinks of something after the fact, make sure that just know that you can reach out to me. I'll send you an email back. Sometimes email works best for all of us. Or like I said, feel free and give me a call. The phone number is listed everywhere. Sharon, do you have any questions for me?
No, I'm good. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're the best. All right, so let's switch back one last time. And let us.
I do
Sharon?
have a question.
Good.
If we're
What do you got?
accepted, can we leave business cards or postcards in the gallery?
Yes, ma'am. In fact, here's how it usually works. And so on my side, as the gallery director, I'm here to support you as the artist. And so you will see that I promote the show on my side, and I do that through online means, and I also do it through old school postcard means. And so that goes out to our mailing list of, let's just say, thousands. And so that'll get the ball rolling for sure. This is going to be something that you'll share as well. And so I will have a series of, I will have flyers, I will have postcards, I will have some promotional magnets that sort of share what's happening over the course of the year. And those are all available right when you walk in the door of the gallery space. And so if you're talking about your own show, then I will work with you if you want to do a little extra to help promote that. Otherwise, just know that we'll be working on our side too. So to answer your question, yes.
Thank you.
Of course. Jeremy, any last questions from you?
I was just thinking again about what website might be the best in terms of an artist bio.
Yes. Like I said, when you have a chance, do me a
Email.
favor, shoot me an email. Yep. And I'll get you. Well, that'll be the easiest way for me to shoot a link back to you. Just because I
And
need
one
to
last thing.
look that up myself.
Sorry, one last. I was just
Yeah, of course.
fascinated about the, you have those that work with framing.
Yeah. What do you mean? Be more specific.
Like, I mean, I have canvases, but I haven't put frames on them.
Oh,
I-
so you're looking for a framer, or is it ready to hang without the frame?
Oh, I'm very new to the
Yeah.
art scene. I'm learning as I go.
No, I love that. If you have the chance, and I'll put this out to anybody who's watching this, please, please, please make yourself comfortable to come say hi if you are not familiar with the gallery. Right now in our East Gallery, I have an oil painter that has hung a series of canvases on the wall. So you can see how this particular artist does it. Perhaps it will inspire you. Maybe you'll learn just a thing or two. And so I have another show that's going to be opening in a matter of weeks. And so this just adds to the vocabulary, gets you a little bit more confident and comfortable. We all start somewhere, right? And so I
I'd
think
love to
that
visit.
so come say hi, see if maybe because a lot of people with the canvases do not frame their work. And so but they do address the canvas around the outside maybe in different ways. The one thing, if I didn't mention, artists that are chosen, their work will be, and this kind of follows up to your question, it is ready to hang. So that's not something that I do, that we do on our side. And so everything will be ready to hang, and it needs to be reliably, let's just say, outfitted to hang. So the apparatus needs to be strong enough that I can count on it safely over the course of that 6 weeks. This is all information we can talk about later.
Okay.
Nothing you need to worry about at this point. I want you to be comfortable with that application. I want you to start working on your application at this point. Send it to me, sooner than later, but just know that deadline, if you send it to me tomorrow, it means the same as the person that sent it to me on the final day, as long as it gets here on time. Thank you so much for your time, everyone. Please, if you don't already, follow Salt Lake City Arts Council on all the social things. And I only say that because it is created for you. Artist opportunities are listed on there. Like I showed you on our main web page, that is kind of your, let's just call it your source of all of the links. And so that's your go-to place to go. There are also a lot of questions that have been yielded and answered that are listed on that same page as well. And perhaps it is something that you need an answer to. So check it out. It has been a pleasure, everyone.
Yes,
Reach
thank
out
you.
if you need anything. Thank you, Alan. And y'all have a great weekend.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Hey, you
Thank you so
too.
much.
Thanks.
We'll talk soon.
Bye-bye.
See ya.